Ideas to Human Better. I am Eva Payne, and I'm still a little glitchy. I was glitchy yesterday too when I was recording. I've got all my boys home, and there's limited Wi-Fi. But who cares about that? Let me tell you what we're here to do. We are here today to talk to a good friend of mine, now definitely a good friend of mine. Her name is Alice, and she attended the Flow Life Retreat. And I asked her if she would share her experience with everyone. And she's been open and willing to do that. And she has an incredible story. So, with that, further ado, let me introduce you to Alice. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Miss Eva.
How are you?
I'm doing well today. How are you?
I am so good. And more importantly, I'm so excited to have you on the show. And thank you so much for being willing to be open and share your experiences, because there are multiple now, whether you were helping or having your own journeys at the retreat. And so thank you so much for being willing to come on and talk about yourself and all the stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff. Exactly. Who knew all these things would happen and, be a possibility?
Yeah. So let's start with just, I want to dive in. I asked Kelsey this yesterday when I was interviewing her. What has been, and we're just going to start at this and then we'll backtrack to your story. But
Okay.
what has been your biggest takeaway from experiencing the Flow Life Retreat?
Oh boy. It didn't even occur to me that I might get emotional. Funny
Do you have
thing.
tissue by you?
I think I might have to grab one, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to step out of
You
the.
go do that. You go do that.
Okay.
You do what you got to do, girl. I love Alice so much. She has
Oh dear, I don't
one of
have.
the most pure hearts.
Now I gotta go find my little hankies. But I have one. Here we go.
Nothing like living in flow. You just go with it. You go with it.
Okay,
All
got my
right.
hanky.
Good.
Um,
Good.
Gosh, the biggest takeaway. It's just I really don't know what the biggest takeaway is. We maybe should have prepared for.
How about a takeaway? Give me one. Give me something
Oh
simple.
gosh, it's just softened me as a person and just yeah, I think I was really fragile coming into all of this, and I'm an emotional being, and it's part of me, and I love that about me. But it's just softened me, really. It's just let me come home to a softer, different, me. I don't know how else really to explain it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, Alice. So
Yeah.
let's let people know who you are and maybe who you were prior to coming. I mean, you're always you,
Right.
but why did you come to the retreat? How about let's just go with that?
Okay. I had been introduced. I had done a little bit of psychedelics in a more recreational space with friends and mushroom hunting and being out in nature and just wanting to get more of a therapeutic experience with it, with support and with um, forethought and afterthought. Oh crap!
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh my god!
Hey, we're going with it, girl. We're
My
going with
stupid
it.
coffee maker makes a lot of noise. Sorry.
All right, mine too. It's
Okay.
all good.
Um, with the forethought, and I didn't want to go out of the country, and then I started looking for something that was more local. And when I realized that Colorado and Oregon had decriminalized psilocybin, I believe Flow Life Retreat came across my Instagram feed. And it was a matter of making a phone call, and connecting with you was easy and lovely, and it felt really good. um, and the connection and support thereafter has been amazing. And I got to come early to a retreat because we had a snowstorm, and I got to stay for the retreat after and help and be a part of that. And that was really beautiful. And that was kind of my intent in trying to find something, and I did. And I feel like I'm all over the place, Miss Eva, but um, my main reason for finding the psilocybin retreat was for some childhood trauma that I had and didn't um, really know how to work through without therapy and such, which I had done a lot of and had gotten through some stuff, but I just knew that there was more to breaking through some of that. And so a year ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and have since had a double mastectomy, and doing well and healthy. And um, it's been quite the journey. And so, uh, where my pain used to be was right where my tumor was. And since I've been to the retreat, that pain is not there anymore, and that tumor is not there anymore. And it's just helped really release layers of just stuff,
Yeah.
family stuff, emotional stuff. Um, uh, yeah. So I've journeyed twice, um, once in March and then again in June, and it's been just transformational in my healing and just who I am and who I'm becoming. And yeah, I've been able to quit a job. I've been able to move past cancer, build a home, do a lot of amazing things. And Eva has been a huge whew, part of that. It's been fabulous.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. You know, you're the one doing the work. I just get to love you along the way. It's a privilege because you are a very, very sweet, loving, kind, open human. You know, it's just, it's so, I don't think you're ever not going to be emotional. Like, I think that's just who you are. You're just like beaming, oozing empathy and love. And it's so
Yep.
amazing. And it's so nice to see that, you know, I remember our very first call. You know, you were emotional on that call too, but there was a lot of pain on
Yeah.
that call. There was a lot of sadness in those tears. And now
Yeah.
when I see you and when you connect into those emotions, it's like this tears of gratitude and wholeness and hope. And it's such a it's a different energy. It's a different kind of emotion than what I was seeing prior to you coming to the retreat.
For sure. For sure. And it feels just different, evolving emotion, um, a different emotion than I've had in my whole 43 years, so it's really pretty exciting that it's not coming from a deep pain any longer. It's coming from, gosh, who knows what could be, who knows what tomorrow could bring. And yeah, like it, whew. Cancer just helped me wake up. And yeah, I had been dealing with depression for years. Been on medication since I was 17, and found Eva, I think in maybe January, started
Mhm.
microdosing
Yeah.
shortly thereafter. Um, One of the cancer medications that they wanted me to take, I couldn't take with Wellbutrin, which was a medication I'd been on for a long time. And so I just had to really start thinking, okay, regardless of my cancer path, what would maybe being off of this drug or drugs be like? And so um, microdosing helped me get off of both of the medications that I'd been on, and helped me more clearly choose my cancer journey choices. I decided not to take tamoxifen, which was a drug that they recommended, and um, I did my journey in March, my first one, and it was just really beautiful. I have been a people pleaser, doing all the things, helping people, just taking care of other people and not taking care of myself. And that's exactly why that cancer grew, where it grew. And it's not a surprise that um, my personality type and my trauma allowed breast cancer to grow within me. But I've since been able to remove the cancer, remove medications I didn't know I could. And I'm just living a different life, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, you got to go hiking yesterday. I love that. How are those flowers out there?
Fantastic. We're having super bloom here in Crested Butte. I live in the wildflower capital of Colorado, and it's a beautiful place. Yeah, and I just get to wake up every day and do me and take care of the stuff I want to do right now, and it feels really great.
I love it. Let's talk about your first experience at the retreat because you've been twice. Well, twice as a participant, I should say, because you've been several times as a helper also. So, where do I want to go? I want to go in two directions. One is I'd love to know either your first experience at the retreat, what that was like for you, just overall. Why? What would make you want to keep coming back all these times? So let's start with that. Let's just start there.
Just the amount of love and the amount of care that was put into the program was kind of mind blowing. Not really surprising after hearing your background with where you started and all of that, but this just takes the level of healing and care to a different mm, level. And everyone that was at the retreat that I first went to was amazing, and you could just see everyone was growing um, individually and doing their own thing and just trying to make the best choices. Um, and we were all choosing in for ourselves, and so that was the first thing. Like, I've never done that before. I've never really decided to do something for myself in a retreat form or really in general. And so it wasn't an easy thing to do. It was kind of like, all right, we're all just going to have faith that this is the next thing. And it was just beautiful. Everyone helping was amazing and then on their own journeys. And so um, that part was really fabulous. And the four women that were in our group really connected really, really well, and all had some trauma that we were all willing to be vulnerable and talk about. And the second retreat after my journey, the women were lovely, and everyone was on their own path there as well, but there wasn't the same level of trauma spoken about at that retreat. And so it was very, very different. 9 women, 2 different retreats, 2 different groups. It was beautiful to see how everyone really rallied for each other to be able to say something insignificant, to be able to say something that was very significant, but maybe felt like maybe we shouldn't be speaking because the other people's things and traumas were deeper, bigger, or harder. But it was just really a safe space to be able to come together and let go of whatever we could. And it was really beautiful to see all 4 of us in our journey have a very different experience. And I was really kind of upset initially because I was really worried about my other ladies more than myself, which t- tends to be what I do. I think about other people. And so at first, in the first couple hours of my journey, I was really struggling to see the big picture. But the medicine allowed me to just see the beauty in all of the work that was being done individually by the four women that are participating, plus Eva and Dream and Hummingbird and Bliss making food and all of the people doing all of the things to make it all happen. And so um, it was really healing for me to be able to just be the observer for several hours and just see uh, how connected we were. And that was really, really beautiful for me to just be still and see that I didn't have to be the cook or be the cleaner or be the person rubbing someone's back. I just got to watch, and it was just so healing in that I was in a different space mentally, but physically I could just still see and be a part of all the beauty that there is in this world.
Mm.
And it just, I don't know. It was
That you
really
kept saying
healing.
that, like, you would sit on the side and kinda just watch everything happening, and I'd say, do you need something? You want something? Nope, I'm good." And just being the observer of these other women going through their journey and having their own experience and, all the moving parts to what it takes to put together a retreat. And
Yeah,
it was it was beautiful to watch you watch, but I thought, "Is she having her own experience?" Like,
I
I mean, you
was.
obviously are.
I was. And since then, because I've been able to, separate myself from my previous job, which was a property manager and taking care of second homes and just taking care of everybody else's stuff. Um, I've been able to be a lot more still, and so I've reflected back to that day many times in the amount of stillness I've had in my life in the last few months, and I have not really been um, that type of person. I'm just busy and doing and not taking care of myself, and um, it was a huge part of, okay, this is what you need to do, and you need to just relax, and you need to just watch some of this stuff happen. And so I've been doing that a lot, and it's really been hard at times. But it's what my body is physically needed after recovering from cancer and just trying to reset and restart. And so, um, a month ago, I was at a retreat, and so it was my second retreat, and I didn't want to decide how much to take, and so Dream and Eva decided for all of us, and um, I couldn't get out of my bed other than to go to the bathroom just the one time for the
Mm.
entire journey. It was a very, very still and quiet experience. So I didn't watch, I didn't observe on the second time. I was in my nightshades for probably the first 2.5 to 3 hours. I was able to keep them going that long. And then I didn't want to have it on any longer. But I was just
Mm.
physically just like, my tummy was upset. I wasn't I wasn't real sad or super happy. I was just very still and aware of other people having really laughy experiences for quite some time during their journey. Um, uh, but the second time was very, very different.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Can you share what about the retreat outside of the journey? Is there anything for you that like really stands out? Any of the other modalities that you're like, oh, this is really great. Whether it's from the first time you experienced it or the second time or anything like, what would you say for you was something that that moved you outside of the psychedelic experience?
I would definitely say the cold plunge. The cold plunge was really, really powerful and really, really special. The first time I was terrified. I did not want to do it. I could not smile. I couldn't make that final smile, "This is okay, before I got out," kind of connection that you wanted from us, or just tried to do. My body just was not able to go there. But then I did do the cold plunge a second time, um, during that first week that I stayed for 2 retreats, and at the last minute, I decided to do it again, and boy, was it just really powerful, and it felt really amazing. And then the second retreat that we had here just a month ago, I was able to get my Aunt Charlene to come from Hawaii, to come to the retreat. She's been needing some relief, and said yes to herself, and it was a really special week. And she and I did the plunge together, and it was really a special one too. And so each time I've done the cold plunge, it's been liberating. It's really something. Um, and I
Yeah.
also really enjoyed the breath work this last time. I was able to get into that a lot more. Um, but all of the different things that you can incorporate into your life that you've introduced us to have been really special and fantastic.
I love it. I have this picture of you holding your aunt's hands, and you don't see her, you just see you, like, reaching out. I think I sent it to you. And
You
your
did.
face, just looking at her, you've got, like, one tear coming down, and it's just, like, this smile and just sitting in there and so calm, and, like, it's just like you're beaming love out to her. It's so beautiful, and I think about your first experience and just, like, the tears, but out of just like, "This sucks." Like,
It did. It did, and you're able to go somewhere different. Yeah, yeah. I was fighting it the first time, and then it's been a lot better after that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I love how you really bonded with the women at your retreat. You all have really stayed connected together. You've stayed they're fine.
Yes,
You've
we
really
have.
stayed connected, you've stayed together, you've stayed in that group chat. "Hi, pup."
This is little Boddington, and she's been getting a little barky, and I just didn't want her to bark, so let me
Yeah,
just
let's
do
just have
that.
her join us.
Yeah. Yeah, we've connected. We've stayed on group chat. We're trying to get together on a Zoom, on Thursday morning, even if it's just for a quick hello. And
Mm.
yeah, and I feel like that connection that we had, we're gonna have forever.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Yeah,
And so many of the groups come together like that. They come together very synchronistically. Like the group that you're in, you're meant to be in. That's what I found over the last 21 retreats is that these groups, whoever's meant to be there comes together. And when those people can be open, like you said, some groups are more open than others, but there's something super powerful about that vulnerability and about sharing. And I think that's where our bonds as humans become really connected when we're able to be open and honest about who we are in our lives and our struggles and our shame and our guilt and our joy and our love, all of it,
right,
right? Like not
right.
hiding parts of it. I'm not only going to show you this side of me. Like here's who I am, and
Yep.
take it or leave it. And then when it gets taken, when people are like, "Awesome, I love you anyway," or "Yes, and what else?" It just
Right.
feels so good, right? Like,
Oh,
no judgment,
you're good.
all
No,
love.
no judgment, no judgment. And I mean, a month after the retreat in March, we were on a van trip in California, and I was able to see both Kim and Tammy. They came to our campsite and met Travis and Boddington, and it was just like, it was just really special that the connection we had. We wanted to get together again, and I hope we keep doing that.
You will, I don't doubt it. It's definitely a sisterhood amongst your group, and I love that so much. So thank you for being one of the pieces of glue that keeps that group together. I think that's such an important part of integration. So let's talk about that for a minute. What have you been able to do for yourself post these retreats? So coming out of the first retreat, coming out of the second retreat, it's not just about the journey, as you know, right? You can go and take medicine and and it can give you this perspective, and there's things you can't unknow or unsee or unfeel. So it
Right.
definitely moves the needle. But I've noticed that for some people it moves the needle a lot in their lives, and for some it's just a little. But what has been some of the what tips would you give someone based on your experience as far as the integration piece goes? What have you noticed that's been really beneficial for you?
Um, for me, this has been like, okay, I am really trying to break some, old habits. So being able to walk away from a job that the people pleasing, the perfectionism, the stuff that I did for the wrong reasons and
Mm,
for, a hurt, traumatized kid that just continued to do the things that I was doing. I've been
yeah.
able to, walk away from and not have be a part of my life. And I've been able to start taking care of myself, period. So the changes I've made in that are thankfully, my husband and I are in a situation where we're building an accessory dwelling to help pay down our mortgage. This is my new home that we built
Mhm, it's
in this
beautiful.
last year. Thanks. Um, but I've been doing Reiki pretty regularly, getting Reiki. Massage, I've been doing Epsom salt baths. I need to start journaling some more. And I tried to get a hold of a woman who's doing some equestrian therapy,
Mm,
and
yeah.
that's here in the area that I haven't connected with her yet, but planning to do that. Um, let's see here. Uh, Microdosing has been another part that I've continued to do. And my husband has been microdosing also, and it's helped him a lot with his just general kind of anxiety and that kind of thing. And so we're both just making better choices for ourselves and having a less busyness and just slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, that's lovely. And I think it definitely helps that you live in a really supportive community. You know, you went home to nature and to this beautiful home that you spent all this time building that now you can appreciate because you're not so stressed with another job that with people who are, let's just say it, taking advantage of you. And you're able to choose yourself. That's so huge.
I
Huge.
know it is. It's really exciting, and I plan to continue to help you at the retreats in Colorado if Colorado is a place that you continue to have them. Uh, I don't know quite where my space is going to be, but it's definitely evolving into what I want it to be versus just feeling like pressured to do what other people want you to do.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that's key right there, right? Is that not it? Like, what do you want to do? To everyone out there, what do you want to do with your life? Who are you? What are you
Yeah.
here to create? What are you here to contribute? What need can you fill simply by just showing up? Like Alice, when you come and help, you're just you in that
Uh,
space. You don't do anything you don't want to do. You
no.
help where you can. You have so many skills. No one even
Uh,
has to say like, "Alice, will you do this?" You just know. You're like, "Yep, let's get that soup going," or "Let's do this," or um it's just so beautiful. It's almost, I don't know if it feels that way for you, but to me, it feels like when the people who come in after coming to the retreat and they come to serve, it's almost this effortlessness. It's not like, here's your checklist of things to come and do. When you come and volunteer at this list, here's your training. Here's this. It's like, fill a need. I don't know,
yeah.
love someone, be a part of the group. And it's just really intuitive. I don't know. And it's lovely to see you step into that space and be able to serve in a way that probably feels very different from the other job that you had.
It did, and it has, and it's been lovely to be able to just see. Okay, yep, I know that a bed needs to be made, or lemons need to be juiced, or maybe somebody just needs a conversation for a few minutes, or just be able to float around and just help where some of those little things make sense.
Yeah, I love it. And let's talk a little tiny bit about your last experience. So, you did come with your aunt, and I love that. I love you got her on her call and we chatted it. And it was like 5 minutes into the talk and she's like, "I'm in. I'm coming." I'm like, "Okay, but don't you wanna know anything else?" I'm in. I was like, "That was the easiest call I've ever done," you know? I mean, she had more questions and stuff, but it was like, I'm doing this. I'm coming. I'm coming." So what was that like for you to be there with someone that you love so much and to be able to introduce the medicine to someone, that you really care about, while also having your own journey, in that space? But what was it like sharing space with someone that you really love?
It was really exciting. It was her time, and she was in a place in her life where she said yes to herself and for herself. And after, just meeting you briefly on the phone, your presence, obviously made her comfortable enough to say, "Yep, I want to do this." And I was able to spend the week with her. We took the first couple days ahead of the retreat. She came from Hawaii, so traveling sometimes is a little
Mhm.
hectic for her. And so we got this little tiny home ahead of time and spent a couple days just getting situated. And then the men's retreat was going on, so I was able to step away from her to come help you with that, and actually have my first time, um, you know, participating with the Journey Day, and that was really special. Um, and then just knowing she was going to be supported, she was comfortable enough for me to take another journey. So my intention was not necessarily to jump in and journey, because I was wanting to be there for her, but she was comfortable with all of you and all of the support, and I was as well. And so it was really special to be able to journey together. And we shared a bedroom, but she was in another room, and I was unable to get out of bed. And I could just hear her having the biggest. I wasn't sure if she was crying at first or laughing, but she
Yeah.
seemed to gone on with this laughing spell, just this deep belly laughs for an hour or more, it seemed. And Paige came in to check on me and to see if it was okay that she was carrying on like that. And it didn't bother me at all. It just was like, oh my God, I'm so glad she's releasing something. Something's happening. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was really special to experience that with her, even though I wasn't able to help her really in any way because I was in my own space. But
Well,
it
she
was
didn't need help. She was good. She was doing great. I don't
I
think I've ever had anyone laugh as long and loud. Though
no,
I mean, it may
no.
have been more than an hour. It was a long time, and I love her explanation of that piece of it where she just said, to the effect of, "I just realized how silly my problems were," or how I took everything so seriously. And I mean, I tell people it gives you this pulled back perspective. So for her to be able to have this pulled back perspective, that she could see that really um it's just something to laugh at, like to marvel at, and to just I've put so much into that. Holy smokes. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? I mean, is that your takeaway from her
Oh,
laughing
for
piece of it?
sure, for sure. She said, she's like, when I remembered, starting to laugh like that, she's like, I was planning my funeral and I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear and what people were going to say about me, and how the whole day was going to play out. And she's like, I was realizing, what am I talking about? She's like, and then she's like, the absurdity of me worrying about that. She's like, I just couldn't stop laughing. She's like, and then everything became funny that I was, pondering. And she's like, and it was just, it went on and on and on. And oh gosh. And I just was like, well, oh, fantastic. I'm so glad she's releasing something.
Yeah, and how's she doing today?
She's doing really well. Her fibromyalgia has really flared up since she got back to Hawaii, but overall, she's really doing well. I think she's setting some boundaries that she's really wanted to work on. It's been a great experience for her for sure.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm so glad
but
for
we're
you
all
both.
doing our work. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks. I really truly
forever,
will.
right? I mean, forever, Alice. It's like, this is what we're here to do. We're here to do
Yes,
this work. We're here to s shine some light in the shadows, the shadow parts, because we all have them, and to not be so ashamed and
right,
feel so bad about those parts of us, because there's nobody without it. And
right.
and then what? What can we create? How can we come together? What can we be like, as human beings together? And so I think this is just the beginning of what's possible for humanity. And the earth is trying to make it so easy for us, so easy for us. So, what would you say to someone out there considering either coming to a retreat like this or just even partaking in this medicine? What would be your thoughts to them?
I really think every adult, given the opportunity and the right set and setting, would benefit from this. Just it's incredible where it takes your heart and your energy and your just emotions, and it softens deep hurt. And if if we were hurt by a parent or a friend or a something, those things sometimes are hard to soften. And I just feel like uh, it's it's something that I think everyone could benefit from, um, given a you know uh, a decision to choose to do something for yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. It's been such an honor chatting with you today. I'm so
Thanks.
grateful for you. Any takeaways from the men's retreat? I just want to ask you about that in particular. Anything from there? That'll be my last question for you, unless you have anything else that you want to share. But
The men's retreat was lovely. I because I was just popping in and
Mhm.
out, so being able to see the men before briefly and then after, that was really, really transformational for me to see them before and after, and just their energies and kindness and whew, just how grateful they were for the experience. So, yeah, that was really, really cool. So, I hope I'm a part of another men's or couples
Yeah.
retreat here in the near future. But I hope all four of them are doing well. But that was cool.
Yeah, they're doing great. I love it. I love that the men come together just like the women. It's
Mhm.
interesting because the
Yeah.
women think like, do the men, are they going to be able to do the same thing? They going to be as open and vulnerable? I'm like, sometimes they're more. It's easier. Sometimes they're just like, here's my stuff, and willing. Like they're really ready. By the time they come to a retreat like this, they're ready for it. So
Yeah,
I'm
well, and that's what I feel like. I feel like by the time you've made the emotional decision, the financial, the choosing in of you, when you by the time you get there, we're all ready to be there. Of course, it's kind of settling in and trying to, everybody just getting comfortable with everyone,
yeah.
initially for something like that is different, but we're all ready by the time we've gotten there, I feel like. And so, yeah,
I
choosing
love
you is the
choosing
thing.
you.
It is the thing.
Any
The new
final
thing.
thoughts? Alice, outside of choosing you, anything I didn't ask you about, anything about the experience, anything you wanna say to anyone out there considering it? What final thought would you leave with the humans that are listening or watching?
Um, I have more gratitude and love within this being post these experiences, and that's amazing. So, if anybody is looking for any of that, you need to go find Eva. And yeah.
Love you, and you're someone already with so much love, so it's just like, how could someone even
It's
carry more? You show what's possible. You show what is possible, Alice.
yeah, thanks. Well, I am so grateful for you and what you're doing, and what we're capable of. It's really, really an honor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing here today and being open about your experience. I think it helps when we speak about it. Not only is it healing for us to share, but also you just never know who's out there that's looking for a little bit of hope and for you to be able to share and that it's not so scary. The media did a really great job around scaring us around this. And this is an opportunity for us to really connect to ourselves in a very empathetic, loving way.
Yes, yes, and whew, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, Alice,
Oh,
thank you so much for your time. Don't go anywhere. Hold on a second. Let me say bye to everyone. I love you so much. Give me 1 second. Thanks, everyone, for being here on another episode of Ideas to Human Better. Thank you so much for spending time with sweet Alice today and for opening your hearts to her story and her journey. It's an honor and a gift to be here with you today. I appreciate you. I hope that you all find a little bit more love and healing and grace in your life because that is one way to human better. With that, have a great day. Much love.